Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is Chad here with another In the OT podcast for BetHubb Sports Blog.com. Today, I am ranting about Don Cherry's recent Coach's Corner episode with Ron MacLean, where they got into a little bit of an argument on a mispronunciation of a last name. And boy, when you think of that, you would have to believe that it was Cherry once again making another mistake and MacLean having to correct him. But no, it was the other way around for once. And that is because when they were discussing the St. Louis Blues young stud defenseman Alex Pieterangelo, by accident, MacLean called him Alex Pieterangelo. Well, what do you know? Just because he's from Southern Ontario and he played for the Mississauga Ice Dogs, a team that Don Cherry owned a percentage of in the OHL, he got all offended. How dare you get that name wrong, Ron MacLean? How dare you not know where he's from? It's offensive. You should know better, and blah, 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 blah. Well, excuse me, Don Cherry. I didn't realize there was a double standard when it comes to having the correct pronunciation of last names of NHL hockey players, because you are guilty as charged when it comes to being dead wrong for the last number of years. And that's why it's absolutely absurd here, especially when you factor in that Ron MacLean showed a lot of class and dignity and wanted to apologize and get it right after the moment. What have we seen from you, Cherry, the last few years? Last year throughout the finals, and even dating back to years before that, calling Kevin Bieksa Kevin Biesca, and calling Roberto Luongo Roberto Lalongo. And how many times were you corrected and you gave your little shrug and put your arm away and said, it doesn't matter. And when it comes to European and Russian and Swedish names, the fact that you never put in the time and effort and you almost treat them like second-class citizens. But the moment someone might offend somebody that you know personally or played for your team in the OHL or is from that Southern Ontario market, you just lose your mind, and it's absolutely pathetic. And what's even more disgusting is the fact that you haven't even been able to pronounce the correct last name of someone that you should love because he's from the Boston Bruins and plays the style of hockey that you preach 24/7, and that is none other than Milan Lucic, who you believe his last name is Milan Lukic. And you said this many times in the last couple of years in the playoffs, and it's absolutely appalling. I just don't understand how this man has the nerve to rip somebody else and get mad at them when he is guilty of the same thing. Does he have double standards? Does he think he's special because he's a hockey legend and he can do what he wants and get away with it? No, I'm going to call you out, especially because my tax dollars are going towards paying your salary on an annual basis. And it's not just me either, Don. There are many other Canadian sports fans that probably feel the same way. You're getting up there in age. You're getting more senile. A lot of your rants are starting to make less and less sense, and that's fine. I understand. I tune in just for the pure entertainment of what you're going to say, not necessarily because I agree with it. But if you're going to go out there and get angry about one thing, you better at least fix what you're making the same mistake with. Once again, it's Chad here with an In the OT podcast for BetHubb Sports Blog.com.